Hey guys, and welcome to another episode tutorial of Logic Pro Mix Tips and Tricks. Today we're going to jump right into it. I'm going to be talking about noise gates and what they do. Also, a nice little trick for cleaning up some guitars, getting out the muddiness. So let's jump into it. So here we have this track. This is Lorena Doreen playing the guitar. This is our cover to One Dance by Drake. So let's listen to it.
Baby, I like your style. Safe to say, I'm falling hard. You're so close, never apart.
Okay, so we don't really need to focus in on the vocals here. I just thought I'd add that in. But the guitars, this is what we want to look at. So the guitars sound pretty nice. I mean, they sounded alright. They sounded okay. But of course, we're living in a time where, things are recorded in home studios or project studios rather. And so, in that type of recording element, you get a lot of things like background noise and a lot of elements that you kind of don't want bleeding through your mix. So I remember when I first started doing audio, I would actually go through in each space. I would actually go in and try to chop out the uh, the background noise or the background sounds or things that just didn't fit, and that's tedious and it's very time consuming. But thanks to plugins, we have something called a noise gate, which helps us alleviate this problem. Now, what the noise gate does is it cuts frequencies that don't need to be heard. Frequencies that are coming in or coming through that we don't want coming through in the mix, or it cuts those frequencies off. Sometimes you can't get that with the EQ because you're sliding across the meter, but the noise gate takes care of those frequencies. So here, if we look at this noise gate, it's a Logic Pro, comes standard with all of them. Um, Here you have a threshold, and usually with the noise gate, I don't mess with the attack, hold, release, all that extra stuff. I go straight to the threshold because that's what I want to maintain. I want to maintain and keep under control everything. I want to let some things pass the threshold and some I don't want to pass the gate. So let's look at the guitars. I ran them to an auxiliary track. So let's play them without the noise gate. Okay, now with the noise gate. Now try to pay attention to this space, to these spaces here, because in here is where you would hear the background noise or the things that should be eliminated, the frequencies that should be gone. So one more time without it. Now with it. So you can hear a little bit of a difference there. Now, what I'm going to show you is the drastic change of a noise gate. So watch this. See, now, okay, here what I did was I boosted the threshold up to -26 and beyond. And what I wanted to show you was that it started to cut off the full melody of the song. And this is to show you the power of the noise gate. Many people don't understand the noise gate, and so this is why I'm doing this tutorial, because the noise gate cuts your frequencies. It literally just, it doesn't allow the sound to get through the gate. So what you want to do is you don't want to set your threshold so high that it starts to cut off your actual melody, but you want to find a middle ground, a place where you can still hear the melody come through on the track, while at the same time it doesn't let those little background noises or things that was going on in the surroundings um, come through. So for this track, I found it to be at 45 dB that's where it sits kind of well. And I can still hear the melody as well as those background sounds, things like that. So that's the noise gate. The noise gate should go on everything audio. I mean, if you're just recording the sound of a vocal or somebody talking, you should put a noise gate. Noise gate, it helps with cleaning up the frequencies a bit within an audio file. It helps clean it up a lot. So that's noise gate. That's what that's used for. Now, with this guitar track in particular, of course, I use some compression. I use some EQ. I just want to go over some of those basics so that you can see what I did to clean this up a little bit. Traditional EQ. Here I took off, I put a high pass and a low pass filter on this. And I just wanted to cut out stuff that wasn't needed. So you can look at the analyzer and see. Let me go to a place where she starts to play more. And you can hear the difference. Let me bypass it. So you can definitely hear a drastic difference when I put that EQ on. Another thing I did was I added some compression. We're not going to get into that. I put another EQ, pretty much doing the same exact thing. So that really wasn't necessary. But I just love the Pro Q2. I mean, it really does. It does amazing things. But here, I want to look at this guitar amp feature because this here really cleared it up a lot. Now, if you listen to this first, keep this in your head. Now I brought in this nice GTR amp Waves bundle. Check it out. So now it gives it almost, it really, it just cleaned it up a lot. Like it really cleaned it up for me. It took out that muddy sound that I was experiencing without it. So listen again. Now with this. Basically what I did with this. So when it all came together, it sounded great.
Safe to say I'm falling hard. We're so close, never apart. You right here got me thinking how far this love can go. OD, I need a refill.
So that's pretty much how that goes. So that's a noise gate and just a quick mix tip on guitars and something you can possibly do to clear it up. Of course, every mix is different, and you know what I may have done here may not work fully on something you may be doing, but it's just a quick mix tip that you could use or play around with to see what you can develop. Of course, it's all based upon your own ears and what you hear and how you want to manipulate the sound. But that's noise gate. It should be on every audio track. That's how you get rid of background noise. And that's how you get rid of little things that you don't like or don't want to stick out in the mix within your audio file. So that's it. Until next time, guys.